Right now we're going to be talking about monsoons and mosquitoes. It's a dangerous duo. I've heard of the popular duo, I've heard of a dynamic duo, but a dangerous duo. This sounds like, Batman and Robin.
We're the dangerous duo.
Yeah. With us talking about that from the Yavapai County Health Department, David McAtee and Robert Mumper. We're talking about mosquitoes and monsoons. Do they go together? Does one breed the other?
Unfortunately, yes. We haven't had a lot of rain this year. We're hoping to get some real soon. But with that comes standing water. And standing water is where we get mosquitoes. I brought Robert with me because he's our mosquito expert, and he can talk to you a little bit about...
Mosquito expert.
Is that like an etymologist?
Not quite. I'm not going to characterize myself, but I'm one of the inspectors that does go out in the field, and we do monitor our disease surveillance in the county. And we are catching our mosquitoes out there and checking them for West Nile virus to make sure that people in the communities are aware of it.
The huge question on this is, what does it take to become a mosquito expert?
Years and years of experience.
Oh, okay.
Doing this.
Yeah.
Little tiny tweezers.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. It's just part of my job duties that I do in the health department, and it's not too complicated. It's probably more complicated for the people that work in our lab to actually test the mosquitoes for the virus. For us, it's a matter of setting out our mosquito trap and going out in the field and catching them.
Now, what draws a mosquito to that? Why would I, if I was a mosquito, why would I be trapped in there?
Well, the best thing with the mosquito is what they're attracted to is the carbon dioxide that you give off when you naturally breathe. Okay. So what this trap actually does is we load this trap up with dry ice, and inside of it there's actually a motor with a net that we hang underneath this trap. And what happens is, as the carbon dioxide is given off and the fan is running in the light, the mosquito's attracted to it, flies towards the trap, and gets sucked into the trap.
Pretty ingenious.
Yeah. Pretty complicated little gadget there for mosquitoes, let me tell you.
How many of those traps do you put out?
It depends on the locations. We'll set out weekly traps in different areas of the county as a regular monitoring, just to know where we're getting mosquitoes in our communities.
Now, mosquito doesn't necessarily mean West Nile.
No, it doesn't.
No.
But the key is with mosquitoes, we do worry about them as being the primary resource to delivering West Nile to people. The mosquito bite is the way that people do pick up West Nile virus.
Was there a report of any of it last year?
In our county, we didn't have any positive cases. We had one unconfirmed case, and we didn't have any mosquito pools that turned out positive, so we were fairly fortunate. But statewide, we were the second state in the nation as far as the number of cases that we actually had. And in 2010, we were the #1 state that had the number of actual positive.
The highest number of cases?
Cases of human cases.
Okay, now we're saying state. Now let's talk Yavapai County compared to other counties. We hear about West Nile all the time, and hopefully we never have an experience with it. But now what county boasts the largest number of cases in the state of Arizona?
It boils down to Maricopa County. They surely, by the amount of population that they have, and other things that they have to deal with that we, fortunately don't have as much of, is with the housing market and things that have happened. There's a lot of foreclosed homes out there and green pools and other things that we don't have a lot of up here. So they deal with a lot more issues down in the valley than we do up here.
But we have quite a few lakes around our area.
We do.
And we are starting to see them up here, actually.
We are. And in fact, we had our first positive West Nile mosquito pool last week in our Camp Verde area. And we've already posted into that community to let people know to be on the lookout, to take proper precautions.
So what we're hearing here, if there wasn't standing water, there wouldn't be mosquitoes.
Not necessarily.
Well, I guess there'd be mosquitoes.
If we have standing water of any kind, you can breed mosquitoes. Now, not all mosquitoes are going to carry the West Nile virus, but we just don't know that.
Now, what can homeowners do to help prevent this?
The best thing that homeowners can do in kind of protecting themselves is always kind of avoiding and preventing mosquitoes. So around their home is to avoid any kind of standing water. When the monsoon rains come, they can fill up things that may be standing around the home, whether they be buckets, jars, flower pots, wheelbarrows, things like that.
Even dog dishes.
Yeah.
If they sit out for too long.
So it's kind of the key is things like that. You can dump the water out, don't leave it there. If you do have things like water dishes for your pets, horse troughs, bird baths, is to make sure you change the water over once to twice a week, just to make sure it's not standing and capable of breeding mosquitoes.
Okay, now last season Arizona had 69 reported cases.
Correct.
Now the season before, the information says the year before, we were the highest in the nation with 166. Are these figures correct?
They are correct.
Now, they're coming down, obviously. Last season, 100 less than the season before.
Right.
Do we see it fluctuate season for season, year for year?
It can. And the one thing that happens on the West Coast is with our temperate climate, we're probably a little bit more susceptible to keeping the mosquito populations around. They overwinter because of our mild winter, so it doesn't necessarily go away. So there has been a drop-off in cases in the western part of the United States, but we still have that steady cases that seem to hold here out in the West.
David and Robert, stay right there. A short commercial break. When we come back, more with monsoons and mosquitoes.
More about mosquitoes.
The dangerous M's.
Yes, dynamic duel.
We're going to be back on the Morning Scramble, but first, Money Radio.